Hi, good night, everyone. My name is Ayana, TheConflictGuru868, and tonight we are on our second episode of The Woman in Business. Tonight we have with us Ms. Samantha Cato. She's a certified safety manager, and I think I introduced her last week during our last session with Alicia. And Samantha holds the position of managing director at Advanced HSC concept. Samantha is responsible for assisting businesses in developing and improving their corporate HSC strategies. Like I said last week, and I think I have to talk to her more about this, Samantha is what she considers a true tree hugger. That is making it type it up. True tree hugger. So she hugs trees, and I really want to learn more about this because I personally have never tried to hug a tree, and I am quite fearful of trying to hug a tree because I am accident prone. Samantha is also the co-founder of the group A Earth Heroes. So we're going to find out more about that, and I'm going to be adding Samantha on introduce herself tonight. Hi, Samantha.
Hey Anna, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Tree hugger thing.
Yes, I am caught up on it. So if you maybe can start off with that, and maybe you can tell us how did you get into HSC and a bit about Advanced HSC.
Okay, so hi everyone, good afternoon. My name is Samantha Cato. I'm an HSC consultant at Advanced EHS Concepts, and HSC wasn't my first love. So my first love was environmental conservation, environmental preservation. That's what I fell in love with from a young age, and agriculture actually. So So I started my studies along that line, doing environmental and natural resource management. And then I had to take a reality check and we say, okay, how am I going to eat? Because in Trinidad, Ayana is laughing at my tree hugger statement. How do environmentalists make money though? Right? I need to make a lot of money, but I need to survive. I need to have a roof over my head. I need to be able to eat. Yeah.
Right. Uh-huh.
So that's when I decided to venture into health, safety, and environmental studies.
Okay.
So that's how I ended in that field.
Okay.
I basically was very focused. That's me. I didn't get up one day and decide, okay, what field is there? What field is there for me to jump into? What field is there for me to make money? No, I decided, okay, this is where I want to go. How do I get there? Yeah, that's one of my qualities. Very focused, and I decided, yes, this is something I can do and I can enjoy.
Okay.
Yeah. So and here I am today.
Okay, and just listening to the enthusiasm that you describe it, you realize you do enjoy it. Now, ironically, during my secondary school days, I was also in love with agriculture.
Yeah.
And at one point in time, I had this dream for my dad to purchase a farm. And he's looking at me like, do you know what it entails to run a farm? And I was like, yeah, we just need some pigs, some cows, some chicken, and we good to go. But it didn't occur to me that I would have to take care of them. So no, that ended that dream. If anyone is out there willing to run my farm for me, and then when I save up enough money to purchase the farm, hit me up in the DMs. Yeah, we can work something out.
No, right? I really want the farm as well. So we share that in common.
See, maybe we can talk further on that.
We can, definitely. Definitely.
Right. So you are into HSC.
Yes.
So I have a background in oil and gas. During my tenure as a general manager for oil and gas downstream, upstream service provider, I came into interaction with many HSC officers, HSC personnel, offshore specifically. And another dream of mine was to always go offshore, but I was never allowed to go offshore. But then again, I shouldn't say allowed. I should say I never ventured because of the T-Boze and those tests and stuff. Right. And I am not jumping out of anything to go into any water to get myself out of any chair on my own. No. So my dreams of HSC, going offshore were dashed. Have you ever been offshore?
Actually, yes.
Seriously? Tell me more. How was it? Let me live
anyone
vicariously through you.
Anyone that knows me knows that I'm not a fan of being in water.
Okay.
But I'm passionate about what I do. So when the opportunity came for me to venture offshore, I jumped at it. But yeah, that didn't come without challenges, right? So first time, I'm in the left boat, waiting for the basket to be lowered to take me onto the installation.
Okay, you're talking to my porters then.
So, yeah, on my way up in the basket, my hat fell off.
Sorry.
Yes, I am. My hat fell off and just went down. So I'm just looking down, like, okay, please don't fall in water. Please don't fall in water. Please don't fall in water.
Gosh.
And it didn't, right? So we saved. I got my hat back. The fellas brought it up for me. But that shows that, you know, a woman in business, a woman in HSC, and that's what it's about. So I had a fresh, relaxed head up here. And now I know that, yeah, that may not be the best suited thing for a hard hat. But I can tell you that will never happen to me again. Yeah.
Okay.
So I make sure that my hat is always secured.
So they're gonna have the like little strap.
No, I don't need a strap.
The thing behind to tighten it.
Yeah, I'll tighten it. Yeah.
Yes, you see, I remember my days.
But that was a good experience. It was a learning experience, and I could have said, okay, never again, but I didn't. And another thing is that being a female in this industry, and you would know it's male dominated.
Yes.
So you get onto these locations, and sometimes you're the only female. Sometimes there are probably one or two other females, and then you get the stares and you get the looks from your male counterparts, and they're like, okay, what is she doing here?
Yes.
Yeah, actually, the persons muttering to themselves and saying, you know, I don't know what I feel. What are you doing here? And I am glad that I can make a contribution in the field of HSC as a woman, as a young woman, as a young entrepreneur.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah, wow. And you know, I can relate to that, what you're doing here, because I remember years ago, again, in oil and gas, there was something called, you know, the morning meetings. And so little old me, 6 o'clock in Piaco, morning meetings, and I walk in there with my little, and you're like, you know, the old boys crew, and it's like, what is the little thing doing here?
Yeah.
And I was like, good morning, gentlemen. And I sat down. And they spoke all over me, and I'm taking notes and I'm listening. I was like, wow, this is really, you're finally reaching the old boys crew. And especially as a female in a senior position in an organization, you know, it was, but eventually you gain their respect and stuff. That's not the objective, but you do gain their respect. They do hear your voice eventually and give you a chance to voice your opinions and stuff. Did that happen to you eventually?
Yeah, definitely. Because I knew what I was about, right? I'm going in there not to make friends or to play games. I'm going in there to make a contribution and to help them. It's about going into organizations, making a culture change, trying to improve the safety culture within the organization. And I think when persons see that, they start looking at the fact that, okay, this is a woman in a male-dominated field. Yeah, but they start looking at you as someone that knows what they're about and is capable of contributing to the organization.
That happens. That really does. That is amazing. So in our former conversation, and even listening to you now, you have stated that your objective is the creation of a positive safety culture in organizations.
Right.
And for other females out there listening who are in HSC or wanting to get into HSC, can you expand a little bit more about this, how you're going about doing this, and how has it been doing this as a woman in business?
It's a great experience. I would encourage any woman that wants to get into this field, if you're passionate about it, do it. Don't be scared, go for it. Right? In terms of creating a positive safety culture, I want to know that I want to feel comfortable that when I am a part of an organization, persons can return home the way that they came and even better.
Oh, wow.
And we're talking about physically, mentally, emotionally. They need to experience some sort of improvement. So we're talking about not just their safety, but their mental well-being. So yeah, that's what it's about. Safety culture. It deals with an organization that, okay, what are their beliefs? What are their attitudes? What are their mannerisms when it comes to managing risk in the workplace? So yeah.
Yeah. Now we have touched on it in our conversation tonight. HSE male dominated and stuff like that. But let's hit the nail on the head. How is it in this male dominated industry? How to put it? What can you tell us that might give us, for those of us who want to get insights and stuff, what can you give us, like some little insight, and how do we maneuver it as a woman? How do we manage this in this male dominated industry?
It is hard. Yeah. Besides that, you need to be, I said it before, but you need to be focused. You can't become distracted. And you need to enjoy what you do, right? So when you see that changes are being made, persons that were not interested in managing risk in the workplace, persons that were not interested in working safety, they were solely interested in getting the job done and getting the job done quickly. When you go out there, it's about making money, it's about being productive. But as a woman in HSC and a woman in this field and as a consultant, I want my clients to know that, yes, you can be productive. You can get the job done quickly. You can be profitable, right? And still have a sound HSC culture. You can use health, safety, and environment as your strategic advantage in the workplace, right? You put yourself at an advantage as compared to other organizations. So it benefits you holistically.
Okay, so what we're saying is look at it as a strategic advantage, look at it holistically, and then you'll be able to incorporate it into your strategies in the organization. Okay, wow. I think that is great to know that, and I think it can be done. Like you said, once it is that you have that focus and you remain focused on what your objectives are, yeah, it can be done. So you've mentioned risk, right? And I would like to draw similarities between the risk we take as entrepreneurs and the risk. I know we have risks in HSC, and that is one of the biggest things. But as an entrepreneur, what risk do you perceive women in business undertake?
Just simply, there's a financial risk.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. This business is my baby, and literally sucks my finances. So when you decide to go into business, when you decide to make that leap, then you can lose everything, right? When situations like, for instance, we're in the middle of a pandemic. A lot of small businesses are closing down. A lot of businesses are not making it through this. And that is part of it. That's one of the biggest risks that we can take, that financial risk to jump into business.
Yes.
Right? I no longer have that security that I can go to work hard, and I know that there's a salary waiting there for me in the bank. I have to make it happen. I have to ensure that my business is successful. And if I don't do that, I can't depend on anyone else to do it. So.
Yes. Yeah. And guys, that is one of the main things, especially right now in the financial risk. Listening to a viewer shop, they heard me say that during COVID, I actually had to close down operations of my other business. Ironically, guys, Samantha was my neighbor next door where my offices were before COVID. And let me give you a little backstory of Samantha. We knew someone had moved into the building, but we were not sure who had moved in. And we heard this little click coming down the corridor. And I was like, oh. So we looked out the window. I was like, oh my gosh, look at her. She's well dressed and she's stepping on her shoes. And we're like, okay, so she may be some kind of consultant or lawyer, because we had another lawyer in the building.
Right.
And I can't remember how we managed to have a conversation. But
we met in the corridor one day.
And I noticed that we had some in the shoes. I think I told you I have the same sandals like that. And she was such a warm person, guys. I mean, what's that?
I said thank you.
No, it's true. It's true. You are warm. You can get it. It emits from you. You get that. So chatting with you, and I was like, oh gosh, she's in HSC, and let me tell you, her office was done. It was the wall and everything. I was like, wow, really well put together. She knows her stuff. Lovely course. Well, not lovely courses, but she knows it's a. Explain what your courses to me. Give me some more because I know they were quite a bit, but they covered a wide range of stuff.
So yes, so Ayana was my, as she explained, she was my neighbor, my business neighbor, and she's speaking about how I'm warm, but I just admire the fact that Ayana also is very hardworking and focused and warm and full of energy, right? And no, really, I admire that because you came to me. I'll get to the courses shortly, but you came to me one day asking about stew, and Ayana, that said so much to me about you as an entrepreneur, because a lot of small businesses do not wish to take that risk or do not wish to improve when it comes to health, safety, and environment. And that showed me that you understood that this could take you to a position that could do things for your business and put you on top. And just clearly draw a line between you and your competitors. And I was like, I was so excited because I was like, okay, somebody gets it. And it didn't take, it didn't take $1 million contract for you to say, okay, I'm going to do this. You saw it, like, okay, this is something I should do. And I was so excited that you had that vision. So I just wanted to say, when it comes to our programs, outside of consultancy, we offer HSC training. And we actually groom a lot of young persons that are interested in getting into this field. So we have a very wide range of HSC training topics, from everything from confined space to H2S, right? We also have internationally recognized certificates. And we encourage persons to, okay, this is where you want to be. This is a field that you're interested in. They call us and we give them advice. Even if we do not do the training program that we think they need to do, we tell them where to go do it. Right? Because we're interested in getting persons into the field, and not simply getting persons into the field, but having mind changers out there, persons that go out there and change persons' thoughts and around HSC.
And thank you for that compliment. It's much appreciated. What I told you, my background is oil and gas, and with Lola and OSH and all the different things. I learned about HSC. When it is I branched off on my own and started my business, I had a very tragic experience, and just showing a bit to show you why I focus on HSC. One of my employees actually died on site. Right, and I was maybe about 6 months pregnant with my daughter at the time, and I had to go onto the site there with my buddy, high-risk pregnancy, and stay there. I stayed there with the buddy until everything was organized with him, with his family and set and everything like that. And again, because of unsafe practices, and I understand. I mean, not only that, I mean, that was just like, unfortunate, something I would never wish on anyone to experience, but that really enforced and cemented in me how serious this thing is, the risk, people's lives, and as a mother and having persons, I always tell my employees, listen, I'm a mother, so I will feel like a mother, and I will consider you, and I don't want nobody to ill treat you.
So you're making not to cut you off, but you're making a valid point, and that's one of the benefits of having women in HSE. Really, because we are naturally nurturers. We care about each other. I'm not saying that men don't.
Yeah, they do, but we just have that extra a little something and whatever, and so we tend to do that. And you're right, I can see it happening. Personally, like I said, I am a coward. I don't like heights. Once the water is too deep, I am good, I am fine. I love water, but not when it passes in my neck and
Yes.
things like that. So I don't think I would have been much use in HSC because I've been afraid of everything. But I admire HSC. And I remember when it was getting really, the popularity was growing in Trinidad and Tobago. It was male dominated.
That's
All my
right.
HSC officers that I recruited have always been male. So when I saw you, I was really intrigued. And we haven't stopped speaking about store yet. We have to get back to that. Don't worry about that. So to see you doing it and doing it with such class and sass, I was like, yes, this is what we're talking about.
You don't have to, I mean, because you're working in a particular field, you don't have to look, although I have my days when I don't looking for land. Yeah. But whatever I'm doing, I like to do it. Give it my all, give it my best. And I mean, there's a time for me to pull up my boots and put on my coverall. And when I go out there, one of my clients, he always says, he's like, when I walk into the room or I walk onto a location, he's like, yeah, don't study how you can talk freely. She's one of the boys. And my aim is not to be one of the boys. It is to actually go on site, represent women in HSC, just do my best, be comfortable, and make it fun.
Okay. And like you said with one of the boys and stuff like that, let me ask you a question now. Do you think there's still a problem for us as female entrepreneurs, as women in business? Do you think there's still some disconnect as regards to being a female business leader?
I think that's going away. Because there are so many female entrepreneurs, there are so many female leaders, and they're doing a great job, Ayana. They're doing an excellent job. So we're kind of closing that gap and changing the narrative when it comes to female leadership. We're doing an excellent job. And I think as female leaders and as female entrepreneurs, we need to encourage other women.
Yes.
Interested in getting into a particular field. It doesn't have to be HSC. It could just be entrepreneurship, and just be encouraging, open doors for persons. It was a woman that opened the door for me, right? Because I remember when, there's one thing about, okay, you could have academics in HSC, but you need to get that experience, right? I clearly remember that Tamara Johnson gave me my very first real opportunity when I came to HSC, and I gave it my all. So I always learn from that and say, okay, you know what? Let me open doors for other women. Let me be an example to them. Let me help in whatever way. Because if the door is not open for me, I may not be doing what I love today.
Yeah, and I commend you for that. And I totally agree. We have to help. Women, we have to help each other. And I think that's one of that's basically genesis of this series as well, Women in Business, to give women an opportunity to share their business, to share their experiences, to talk about life, how they balance their work-life situation, stuff like that. It would be remiss of me as a conflict guru 868 to not ask, what conflicts, what issues have you faced in business thus far?
We could talk about
that.
Conflicts to me, I don't like it, but to be real, it's there. It is here. Once you decide to get into business, especially if you're a woman in business.
Yes.
Conflicts arise when persons try to take advantage of you. I'm not sure if it's because I'm a female. I'm not sure if my male counterparts experience the same thing. Because they do not value your services. That's the thing. You put everything out there. You give of your best, and then when it comes to simply being paid for jobs, so you have to handle that professionally, because then that can create a great conflict in your workplace and a great conflict in your business. So that's the only place that I experience any sort of conflict. And conflict is good, as you would know. Conflict
Yes.
is good. It helps you grow. It you know, increases your heart rate a little bit. So I take it with stride. Yeah.
And you see, you preempted my next question, because when you started off, I don't like conflict. I went, listen, we need to work through this today. Come on, you can't be any conflict guru show and we don't work through this. But you're right, it helps you to grow. And what you're telling me is that when it comes to persons not valuing and undervaluing your expertise and what it is you bring to the table, what it has taught you, and just to summarize, what it has taught you is that you need to face this in a positive manner rather than a negative manner.
Correct. That's
And
correct.
for those out there who are looking on or viewing us tonight and wondering, oh gosh, this happened to me, how am I going to deal with this? It is pretty simple. You know your worth, you grow in your worth, in the sense that I know where I stand, I know what I bring to the table. I don't have to be disrespectful to get respect. I don't have to disrespect myself to get respect, but you are going to respect me and you're going to respect what I bring to the table and how I am going to help you as a woman in business. Right? And like you said, you look at it in a positive way because it helps you grow. So grow into your worth as well, and grow into knowing that I am confident in what I do. I attain to be the best at what I do, and I'm going to give my best in everything that I do.
Excellent.
Anything to add to that?
Excellent. Sometimes we're so tempted. I don't know about you. You're so tempted to respond with the same negative energy. And you have to remind yourself, this is not worth it. Yeah? Several times. I see a lot of businesses do that. You see them on social media, getting into these exchanges with persons, with customers, and it's not worth it.
Yeah, it's true.
Not worth it. So we need to learn from our experiences. And something that I learned from someone that was actually, I hired to do a job for me at Advanced is that we need to be very careful about choosing our customers or choosing our clientele. And that's very difficult for me because I want to give of myself. I want to be everyone's consultant. Yeah. I want to help everyone. But as harsh as it sounds, you need to know who you want to attract as a customer. You need to know who your ideal customer should be.
Exactly. That is why, as women in business, as persons in business, business owners, entrepreneurs, whatever, we need to know what our customer demographics is.
Yes.
Who are we going to target? What are we going to give to them? What are we providing them? It can't be any and everybody and random person, because what you find is you wearing yourself thin. Because if you want to be pleasing this one, it's against your objectives, and you want to please that one, but they want to twist what you're doing, and then you get lost in who you are as a business owner and what services that you offer. So you need to know who your customers are. Be very specific about your customer demographics.
Yeah.
Right? Now, we're coming to the end of the show, and there's something I would like to introduce this week. It's called the Golden Nugget of Knowledge. Is there a piece of knowledge you would like to share to our viewers to take away?
I just want to tell women that are thinking about doing it, to do it. Yeah? Put your energy into your vision. I always say that. We get up, we go to work every day, we work from 9 to 5, and we put all our energy, sometimes we put all our energy into ensuring that someone else's vision is made a reality. And I'm not saying don't work for anyone. I'm not saying that everyone has to be an entrepreneur, but know what your vision is.
Yes.
And spend some time working on your vision as a woman. And that's a yes as a woman in business.
Yeah. Wow. Guys, you're hearing that? Know it. Just know you. Know your worth. Know what you are as a woman in business. That is excellent. Samantha, I want to thank you so much for joining us tonight. Guys, we are going to be doing our live after live on IG. You can look for us there in about next 15 minutes, so 7:45. So we're going to see you, Samantha, at live after live on Instagram. Samantha, again, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You're most welcome.
All right.
Okay, take care. So guys, there you have it. That was Miss Samantha Cato of Advanced EHS. Like Samantha said, know your worth, understand who you are as a woman in business. If it is that you choose to do it, go for it. You are going to be extremely successful in your ventures and your venture. Once it is you continue to know who you are, you grow into who you are, you know your customer dynamics. Remember too, as Samantha said, safety can be systematic, it can be strategic, it can assist with growth in a business. Safety is very important and is vital for us as business owners. Next week, we are going to be having Miss Nafisa Werik St. Bernard of Asifan's Creation TT. Now, Nafisa makes some wonderful stuff, some handbags, pouches, and stuff like that. She'll be telling us more about it. She's also a mom, so we're going to be talking about the kids and stuff like that. So join us next week when we have Miss Nafisa Werik on our show. And thank you again for joining us tonight. This is the Conflict Guru 868, and this is the Woman in Business series. Good night.